This is the Hungry Musicians Podcast. I'm Daryl Robinson.
I'm Shay Michelle.
Aaron Draper.
George Spanky McCurdy.
Hungry Musicians Podcast is about us being thirsty and hungry for knowledge and opportunity, and we also love to eat food. So I got a question to ask you guys. To me, the 90s had amazing music. That's when I was coming up as a young boy, and some really great music. It was like really versatile. Everything was different. A lot of people had a lot of talent. So I want to ask y'all top 5 90s R&B songs, and I want to start with
It's always tough.
Drake.
Start with me. As I'm writing them down. I got 5. Okay. Man, Usher.
Usher what?
I was getting ready to say
I
this.
was about to say.
Jesus!
All this time
you
I
can't just
think
say
of
that.
you.
I was getting ready to say.
All right.
So Usher, all the time I think of you. Faith Evans, soon as I get home.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a strong one.
Absolutely. SWV. Weak.
Then you taking my song.
He had so many. You said SWV. What's I say? H-Town.
Yes.
Knocking the boots. Come on. What was that? 3, 4?
3.
3. Okay. 4. It used to be High Five. I like the way I like.
Yes.
And then Jodeci.
Gotta have you.
Any song from them in the 90s. That was yeah. I got a bonus one too. We can't forget Aaron Hall and Guy.
Yes.
With
I
I
like.
like and
Yeah.
Do Me Baby. All this man, that song was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Nice list. Okay.
That was off the top.
So go ahead, Spank. What you
That was good. That was very good. I gotta say, Faith, 90s. That's as soon as I get home. That was just romance for us as teenagers. That intro, your love.
Yes.
Yo. Okay, and then also, you said that the H-Town, that knocking the boots. That was another one because that was our slow jam at the dances.
At the
We
high
dancing
school
with the chicks,
joint.
right? So like that, I gotta say Uncle Luke too, because that
yeah.
house parties was slamming Uncle Luke. You know, pop. You know, I ain't gonna say it, but Doodle Brown, like Doodle Brown. Shake the Doodle Brown. Like yeah, that was like the back in the day. I guess what the Uzi song was like. I Wanna Rock was.
Yes. Doodle Brown.
Same thing. That's when you get it. That's when you That's when you get it.
That
Like
definitely was a thing. that was a thing.
that's what everybody got. But 2 more. So it's that Faith, H-Town, Doodle Brown. I gotta say, man, Wu-Tang. That was just like crazy hip hop. Wu-Tang came in, Meth, all that, all of them. Dang, what else? And Bonita Applebum, or just Tribe, like that. You know, it was just trying to cover like the whole thing. It's a lot, man.
It's
90s,
too much.
man.
Nah, you gotta
it's like
do,
the
you gotta do
'96
a
draft.
25 list
Like,
for that. That's too much.
it's too much.
Yeah. That's solid right there. I loved all those records. What about you, Shay?
All right, I got a few. You said a couple of mine. So one is Who Can I Run To? I love his Escape.
Yeah.
My Life by Mary. Man, I ran that thing into the ground. That is my song. Tony Terry. Nobody talks about Tony Terry. That is my song. Like,
So many we had 5. So.
yes, every time it comes on, I'm like, oh, yes.
You know he's talking about his daughter on that record, right?
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I forgot her name. Loving You. Minnie Riperton. She's talking about her daughter on that one. Then you can't forget Poison.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love
That's
that
still
song.
I mean, he put that on still a classic.
Yes.
Yep, that's major.
I got Broken Hearted by Brandy. That's my song. I love that song. You already said Weak. And then Mint Condition.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't leave out Mint Condition. You sent me swinging.
Yeah.
That's my song.
And it was like a live band
How do we
on
forget
it.
that?
Yes.
In the 90s, like,
Yes.
That was crazy.
But I got a bonus one, Camp Low, Lucchini.
Oh yeah, Lucchini.
Everybody don't like that, but I really love that song.
Good.
I love that song so much. Yes. That thing is crazy. Exactly.
All right, so mine are All My Life by Casey and JoJo. That's me and my daughter's song. Love you, baby. Waterfalls by TLC. Raphael Sadiq smashed the bass on that song. So that was really big for me. I love that record. Right Here, SWV. I love that record. Brown Sugar by D'Angelo. He brought the soul out, and that was great. And One in a Million, like that beat changed my life. Like Timberland was on some other stuff back in the day, and I was like a real big fan because it was like, you know, as a drummer, that beat is so complex and it has so much feel, and it was like not typical at that time. And he really changed drums for producers. So that's my 5.
You gotta shout out Brian Moore because he was the first person playing some of that. Him and Gerald playing that.
Shout out to Briz.
That
Timberland
drums.
With the Tasmanian Devil in the front.
Gerald playing for Missy and all them. They was playing them beats.
Shout out to BFM.
Yes, sir.
As musicians, we gotta get into this.
Okay,
Since
I know, I got it.
Since we are in the 90s, since we're talking about the 90s, let's get into the hottest church chop that was being played in the 90s. I'm going to go to Aaron first.
Oh, man. I remember the one, James Hall. Remember that one?
Classic.
Classic.
It sounded like he had a double
We was like,
pedal.
what?
Shout out to Gerald.
Eddie Hayward.
Changed.
He was 12 on that record?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, Got Us in Control.
13.
Shout out to the New York cats, man. We love y'all, D-Dub and all y'all. And you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm gonna go to me. Melvin Crispell, absolutely. So I'm gonna go to me. This would kill if you did this in the 90s. But you had to do it on the ride. Ding 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 ding. So that's my choice. So Spec, what you got?
All right. Okay. Well, remember. So everybody was doing like the rolls and stuff, and then you heard certain cats come out with the rise cymbal, playing the pocket. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. It was like, yo. When that came out, it was like, yo. You got that? It was just like, yo. Everybody was so hyped with it. When I first did that, ding, ding, ding. Yo, what you doing? Yo, that's crazy.
Yup. Never heard of it before.
Yeah.
But that's the number one though. Ding, 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 ding. I was gonna say that. Yo, you man. I don't know if you still do it. You used to do that clean as jacks. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. That was my go-to, man. That was my go-to. Cause you know you was gonna get a ooh from that joint.
You did that. JC, 18th of Mars, the outside concert. I remember you was playing with JC. You had just started playing. You was like young boy. You was like 16, 17. Something like that. You first started playing. We was outside, 18th of Mars, outside concert.
So you wrong about that. I didn't play. You know who played? Eric Trippett.
Yeah, you got on.
No, you got on.
You played for what was the group? The girls.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
got
you played for the girls and you did that chop. I remember first. You remember chops.
Yeah.
He did it, and I was like, oh snap! Got on like looking like.
This our young days was something else, man.
But that same night, Eric Trippett played for Jehovah's Chosen, and then Spank got on afterwards.
He did, yeah.
And I remember you just graduated high school.
Yep.
And I was just like, you know, you put fire to them drums, man. That was just coming up. It was competitive, man. It was like, you will get on, you gotta smash.
You can't sound wet.
You gotta smash it. Nothing personal, but you know what I'm saying? We trying to do this professionally. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that was some good times.
Ford.
Yeah, 90s chops, church chops.
That's when I came to Ford, and I came to Ford in #97. So
Oh,
that
okay.
changed my
97.
life.
Okay.
Seeing all them extra, like coming there and seeing breaks and cuts, and it was like
Shout out to Ford Memorial Temple.
absolutely Bishop James Ford, the mecca of quad church. You couldn't come through there and be trash.
Yep.
Rest in peace to our favorite pastor, Dr. Andrew Ford. He was such a great guy to us and showed us so much respect. And his brother, which is a legend, Stephen Ford,
The great
legend.
You know, a legend. We all come from him, whether we know it or not. You know, so we come from a great place. Philly is a great, place. Now, how do you feel about like coming up back in the day after, or after like John and Brian and Eric, and like what was the vibe like? Was it easy? Was it hard? Was it pressure? What was your experience? Dre Harris. Yeah.
I remember. It was like learning, you're being molded, all of that stuff, and then you get kind of older, and it's kind of like, all right, I think I'm kind of like ready. It's like, yo, like we go bring in, so and so do the joint. We go bring in, and you start to get kind of offended, like, yo, I'm ready to start. Like, throw me in the game, coach.
Yeah.
And then it was always a true learning experience, especially anytime John came on, and even like with Trib being there, and just being able to watch them play, it was just the ultimate school. Brian, John, you already know, he showed us, and Brian too. John, he gave us all the finesse. He showed us how to be a professional, all of that stuff. You already know. Mm-hmm. Brian, he showed us how to be. Eric, he showed us how to be superstars, rock stars, raw. All of that. He was just a super raw drummer. So then I took that from both of them and, added it to my plan. It was cool. It got tough at times. I had wanted to play certain gigs, wanted to be like, dang, man, I was trying to play, but, it's all good. We all got that lion in us, we all gonna feel a little salty. But I wouldn't trade none of that, man. June Burbine, Tony Moore, growing up and all of that. It was the best. It was the best.
So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder because of that? Like because you felt like you was ready at times, but they didn't put you in. Yeah. So now every time that you get on, you like I'm gonna show you who I am.
Definitely, that's still the chip to this day. And it's like an unintentional chip. It's not like I don't have it like towards them, but it's like that's what fuels the engine, part of it for sure. Yep.
That's great. I called you one time. I don't know if you mind me sharing this, but I was like, yo, you like Jordan. Because what he does is, people like him, some people don't, and he just feeds off of the negative energy and be like, oh, for real? Oh, I'm about to smash tonight. I was like, yo, you like Jordan, because Jordan used to do that. He used to read newspapers and the articles that the guys would write, the sports guys, and they was like, oh, he's gonna lose or whatever, and then he'll walk up to him like, I beat you tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, yo, you got the Jordan in you, bro. You know what I mean? What was like coming up for you? Because you was a drummer at first.
Yeah, I was. For me, I felt like I was always learning, and then there was a certain part where I was like, I went into like this non-denominational church, and the drummer there was cool, and I was still up and coming, like, oh, yeah, that's great, I can get this. And then I got into like middle school, and then I met like Kirk Chambers and Joy Crafton, and them two. And let me back up a little bit too, because '97 I also went to Bishop Coleman's church, so Rashid Coleman was on drums, and Reggie on keys, and it was like hearing them do stuff, and it was like, oh, I need to step it up because I like these drums, boom, this is nice, cool. But I don't sound like that, so I need to get my, I'm pushing myself. Fast forward, 97, 16, I go to Ford for the first time. And it blew me away because I was like, what gospel music is this happening in here? And I ain't never heard no shop music that just don't sound like, They was like, you know, it was cuss, you know, and so it blew me away. So it pushed me. So, you know, I stayed a drummer for a long time, from, you know, 97 to about 2001, you know, started all that, you know, Jazzy Fat Nasties, playing the Lilies, and playing this and that and that. And then eventually, you know, of course I started meeting y'all. And I'm like, damn, these niggas, all right, keep, you know, kept me on my toes, of course. But then eventually, you know, something in me made that switch. And I was just like, I don't want to play no more drums anymore, because y'all got it. I'm like, you know, that's literally how I felt. I'm like, man,
so in other words, you met the big dog.
Absolutely.
And you to the side. Say,
listen, you right. Listen, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I got all that in me. It's a lot. And I was like, you know, I enjoyed hearing y'all. And I was like, man, I can do that, but I can't. So I'm just going to go to percussion. Went to percussion, and it was like, I felt like I became that of percussion. Right. Like what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
like I could do, you know. And so, you know, and then, you know, we all started playing together, and it just like, we all became like this camaraderie of, you know, just different rhythm sections. Me and you know, JC, me and Jay, Ford, me and you with Ty, you know, and you know, so it, you know, Jill. I had it great because we actually all, you know, I grew in percussion while y'all was growing more on drums, and so now to this day, even when we play, it's like, you know what I mean? I can lock in with all y'all. And it actually helped me lock in with other drummers that I haven't even played with before. Yeah. You know? So you know, that was that for me, that drums to percussion kind of transition and how it was for me. But I was more like, I just gave up drums. I was like, my bros got it. They killing. They you know, spank me with all the off time and you and all the, you know, the chops and the, you know, the fill, and you know, I still, and don't get me wrong, I still play drums. And I have a fill and I have my little chops here and there. So you know, but that's what it was for me. That changed me.
And that's crazy because, like, I want to say this, like, you as my brother, we've been working together for over 20 years, and you know, you are just such an asset to me. Spank probably feels the same way, because the first thing, your knowledge of music is like very extensive. You know a lot of music, and you know how it's supposed to be played authentically. Mm-hmm. So it keeps us all in pocket, and it adds so much to what we're playing, because it's like we're playing the drums, but then you add the percussion, and you just like another piece to that whole rhythm section. Mm-hmm. And you're invaluable, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to tell you, give you flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Get it right. Here we go.
Yeah, so that's now let me ask another question. The Essence Festival. Ooh. We played that so many times.
I missed that festival.
And you know, I guess Meg the Stallion was down there twerking. She had a twerk camp or something like that. Now, when I think about the Essence Festival, I performed it with our brother LL Cool J. Yes. And this is that was 1 year. Yeah. And this is when it was in Houston. You was with me. Yeah.
We just did the Oprah Winfrey Championship.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it was 70,000 black folk. It felt so good to be playing in front of 70,000 black folk. That's amazing. It was all positive. It was all inspirational. It was great, you know. And to hear that Meg Thee Stallion had a twerk camp down there, how do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? NDRE actually put a post out. You know what I'm saying? You know, not hating on Meg Thee Stallion, because we love our sister Meg Thee Stallion.
Absolutely, she's amazing.
But like, you know, how you feel like that matches up or works with? Does it work with the Essence Festival or not?
Because I feel like it's changed. You know, it's not the same Essence Festival from when we first started playing it. think the generations is different now. I mean, it's still you still got your regulars there, but you know, that's just the sign of the times. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen regardless if the person hate it or not.
Got you.
And you see that you're gonna be cool with it or
So
not.
let's roll with it.
You know what I mean?
How you feel about this, man?
Yeah, that's definitely what they into. God, he right. Unfortunately, yeah, Essence, man. You know,
you just played it.
and like Meg, it's not even that crazy. Like, she's not like the queen, you know, of like the wagons. You know, I don't know. I saw her. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's beautiful, but it's like, you know, I don't think she's like, you know, like the queen of the wagons. I don't think J-Lo is either. They have very nice physiques, but so it's just kind of crazy that she's like the queen of that, you know.
So,
I mean, for example, like that Ice Spice, she's thick. So,
So it would be cool if she would have did it.
yeah,
A little better.
it'd be a little. Nah. See, nah. I don't think it should have been at the Essence.
Because it was kids there. That's the only thing
That's
that
the kids
there.
that NDRE was saying. It was just like, do we want to expose our kids?
Unfortunately, this is what they're exposed to already, though.
This was during the show, though.
These new kids,
Yeah.
see
I
things that we
believe-
ain't seen when
So
we
she
was
brought 'em on
younger.
stage.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They seeing stuff that we ain't seen when we was younger. So it's like I said, it's different. Even from TV to everything, like they see it. Unfortunately,
All day, every day.
there's no wait till you get older to kind of see it. It's like
Here it is.
I agree.
here it is.
Yeah, it's a time and place. I agree with that.
It's definitely, I agree with that too. It's definitely time and place, but unfortunately, just like I don't know.
That's just what it
It's
is.
just-
And the
times is so
mentality is a little different now. Or it's a lot different.
A whole lot different.
How you feel about that, Shay?
I mean, you can have a couple of different perspectives, but honestly, I guess I didn't read all of what India was saying because it was too much. But at the end of the day, like from what I did see, it's perspective. Like I just said, you either look at it from a mature point of view, where it's like, what are you teaching the younger generation? You know, what are you bringing into our culture, or what are you making acceptable by bringing it into the Essence Festival, where it's really something that, you know, we're supposed to be elevating for Black culture. You know what I mean? And if now you're introducing this as our Black culture, I guess that's what she was saying. So,
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
I mean, I don't personally, I don't want to say accept, but I don't disagree, but I don't agree with the whole twerking thing. It's just given, because we've been doing it for a minute. Look at Luke. You know what I'm saying? That was back in, the 90s or whatever. Not saying that it's okay or acceptable, but it's just becoming more and more common. So,
And nobody couldn't tell us not to listen to a Luke song.
I
exactly.
couldn't tell you.
We like, are you tripping?
Plus, that's her thing. It's like a part of her brand.
So if you book her for the gig, you know
You know
what she
she going
getting.
exactly.
Right.
You think she gonna come sing a gospel song?
Because with
She
Megan,
definitely
like the show that I saw, all she do every show is like, not all she do, but at every single show, she's bringing people up and y'all having a twerk contest.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
It's easy. Take up a good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
She's probably do
that's her
3-4 songs.
thing.
Good show filler.
40 minutes.
Great,
45.
great for the band.
Yeah.
They probably picking them like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
They pick everybody, anybody.
Great for the band. Jean shorts. No. Stay on the side. I'll be there.
All right, I got a question for my guys right here. And Shay, okay? Now, who I want to go with first? Let's go with Shay first on this.
Oh boy.
Mint Condition or Tony?
Ooh. That is hard. All right.
That's what she said.
So like mint condition. I gotta go with them. Honestly, Stokely is still killing it right now with his own solo situation. But Tony just got the hits.
Raphael's a still
That's true. That's true. You told me to pick one, so I'm gonna pick
Okay.
mint condition.
Okay. Aaron.
Oh man, I'm going with Make Edition. I love Make Edition. I mean, I listen to Tony, of course. Always, they got the hits because I was bitch, drums and everything. He was talking to us, So I'm gonna go with Make Edition.
Without question, mint condition. Like, that's easy for me. I love Tony. I love Raphael. Was mint condition, man. I was locked in with him for years. We all was. Definition of a band, mint to be mint. Welcome to the mint factory. Oh my God.
The musicianship is crazy.
Who plays drums for Tony? I don't even know. Like,
His brother,
But
Tom.
Jubu,
Oh,
guitars,
yeah.
man.
He did.
Jubu
He was one of the
was
stuff.
smashing.
Yeah,
Shout out to
smashing
Jubu,
guitars.
man.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that whole sound.
Yeah, I mean they was killing, bro. They was killing. I'm gonna probably go with Mint too because I grew up on them. You know what I'm saying? Now, did y'all hear of Tony Yayo on arguing with EFN about who's the best rapper, Biggie or Ice Cube? So I'm gonna pose that question to you guys. We all from the East Coast. You understand what I'm saying? We got love for both of them, but who you choosing to be the best storyteller? And we're gonna go with
What kind of question is
we're gonna go with Shay.
First of all, I feel like they're two different styles that really you can compare it if you want to, but it really doesn't make sense to me. But in regards to storytelling, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't listen to Ice Cube like that. I really didn't. Biggie, I know people jump on the bandwagon because, he was an icon and, he's passed away. But for real, in regards to your question, as far as storytelling is concerned, I gotta go with Biggie. Like, he'll walk you through, the whole thing throughout the whole song. So that's my guy.
What you say, Spank?
Yo, this is crazy, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Ice Cube because
Cube.
that today was a good day.
What?
That was just the whole. It was like a little movie, just the way and then like he pronunciate good, so I always understood what he was saying. But yeah, Biggie too. Biggie too. That's a hard one, but that today was a good day. That really won me over, man. It was.
Yeah, he smashed it.
Went through the whole day. Yes.
The Isley Brothers, him.
Right.
I mean, it was a full day.
What you want to say?
I'm going with Biggie. Juicy. That was the one.
Period.
That was
Yeah.
classic. Like, we never heard that. It's like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with. I love Cube. Man, because he's not just a rapper.
Yeah.
He writes movies, so that's storytelling too. You understand what I'm saying? But Biggie, story to tell, that was so amazing when I first heard it. It impacted me in such a way because I'm like, the way he tells a story is so. You can see it, but then he's so clever. That's the thing about his lyrics that I like. Like, he was just so clever. He said, I get more butts than ashtrays. Like, that's just funny and clever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Who says that? Like,
Yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's the way he phrased things and his imagination, his creativity, I think just supersedes and transcends Ice Cube's rapping ability, in my opinion. But I love Cube, man. Shout out to the West Coast. We've all been on the road. We've been on tour. We've been overseas, right? Give me a story from the road that sticks out. That it could be funny, it could be whatever. Just let's go around the table and tell some stories. And we start off with A. Drake.
Start with me. Ooh, all right. Ooh, that's a lot of stories. There was Darryl was there. We was there. London, and we were there with Jazzy Jeff. And we had just got finished doing a show at the Jazz Cafe. And then we had a show at 6 a.m. at the Ministry of Sound.
The Ministry of Sound.
Jesus Christ. When I say I have, like, that probably was our first time going from one, because our show probably ended at like 12, maybe. Yeah. And so we went over to this other place, and we didn't even go yet. It's probably, the sun probably was out by the time we probably finally went on. But me and Daryl, there was this chicken stand. Yo, it was this chicken stand out there, and when I say me and Daryl probably went up out to that stand about 10 times. It was one of the craziest. It was slamming, yo. We could not stop. And eventually we played, and when we came out the door, because first of all, in there, you don't even know if it's night or you don't know what it is. So by the time we got out, the sun was out. I was like, this is the first time this is happening. I've done about this late and ate this many sandwiches. We dogged them Joys. I was like, yo, you want to get another sandwich?
So you put me out there, so I'm going to put you out there. We was on the road about to go to play in Barbados with our sister Jill Scott. We love you, Jill.
We love you.
So the first thing that happened was he caught the train to the airport, but left his luggage on the train. So that's the first thing. He's going to Barbados with no luggage. I was like, damn, all right, cool. Hey, when we get there, we go get you some, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that you know, the necessaries so that you can, you know, get by this trip or whatever the case may be. So we do the show, smashing show, and we had an amazing time. We get down, it's time to leave to come back to Philly, back to America, and this guy comes down like, I lost my passport. I'm like, you lost your passport? Yeah. I'm like, bro, we in the Barbados. Like, they're not going to let you back in Philly. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and somehow, some way, we talked to the customs people, and they allowed him to go. Now, this is before 9/11. I don't think we could have did that after that.
No, this was after 9/11.
You sure?
Yes, 9/11 happened in 2001. That was 2005, 2006.
Oh, wow.
So we got out through the grace of God.
That's the grace of God. Because that's, you know, anybody that's been overseas, you know, if you lose your passport, it's a wrap, man.
You in a panic for the whole time, too. Like, definitely. Trying to think where your passport is. You just, it's the worst feeling.
Where it be going? It just be disappearing. It's crazy.
Like, I just had it.
It got legs, I'm telling you.
Got legs.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Shay, you got a story?
I don't do stories like y'all did, but
well, it can be a funny story.
I mean, the only thing that I heard about, because I know y'all were talking about like going to overseas and stuff, but I was just telling you that this girl got arrested. It's all over the like blogs and stuff. She was in Dubai and she got arrested for screaming. Wow. Yeah, so basically I think what happened was there was some kind of issue with the rental car or whatever. The gentleman that was supposed to be assisting her, he started yelling at her. So in return, she's responding. And they were like, no, you're not doing it. So her mom is like trying to get her bailed out. I don't know if she got bailed out yet or not, but it got crazy.
Yeah, Dubai is rough. Like, there's no public displays of affection. Even if you're with your wife, you can't kiss her in public.
That's wow.
And, you know, you can't be twerking and none of that. They will lock you up in Dubai, man.
Quickly.
Spain, you got a story?
Yeah, it's so many stories.
So many.
But the craziest story, Paris, France. Oh my God, I'm in Paris. I'm not gonna go into names. We in Paris, France. We go to a club. I link up with my homie. He's a popular DJ, and I'm in a booth with him. Club is up, it's crazy. I feel somebody tugging at my shirt. Like, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I look down. This girl's like, she's yelling to the top of her lungs. Your friend is not well. I'm like, yo. I'm like, what? Who? Who you talking about? She's like, your friend is not well. So I'm like, all right. So I get down. I look across and I see our homies, our section, and I see my homies on the couch having like a seizure.
Jesus.
And then they come up, they pick him up, they grab him, they take him outside. I'm trying to get out the booth. Like, I'm in the booth. This is like, we at the maximum turn up of the night.
Yeah.
It's like the countdown. I'm like, oh! Tugging. Oh, like, yo, what are you? So this is like real weird. So I get down, I go outside, and he's like laying up against the wall. He's like kind of out of it. And for a couple of minutes, I thought he was going to die. We all did. Wow. And then he came to, was like, man, I'm good, man. I ain't had nothing to eat. I had nothing to eat. You know, like the combination. You know, like how we all turn into doctors and we try to diagnose ourselves. You know, the combination with that mixed with the alcohol, boom, boom, boom. You know, just I can't do that.
I'm good though.
I'm like, bro, we outside the club. We just left after that, man. But it happened so fast, man. I seriously thought he was gonna die.
That's crazy, bro. Like, that's the last thing you expect in the club.
I see him through all the people on the couch. Like, yo, your friend?
It's not
It's not well. So I'm like, I don't know how long it took for her to get to me. Wow. So he was on the couch for probably a couple minutes or so. But she was like, oh, snap. You know, she was quick on that one.
At least she got to you.
He made it. He's good.
He's good now. So my story is, we can talk about overseas. We have so many stories, but so we flew into Singapore, and on the wall there was a sign that said, if you get found with drugs, the penalty is death, like the death penalty. He's like, okay. So the artist that we were working with pulled us all over, the crew and band, dancers, everybody. If you get caught with drugs, it's nothing I can do for you.
It's a wrap.
There's nothing I can do for you. So keep that in mind. Just don't stay away. You know what I mean? Just say no. What they say, just say no. So we get to the hotel, and I call one of the other band members. And they was like, oh, yo, we all up in the room chilling. I was like, all right, cool. So I go up to this band member's room. I open the door, and it's met with a cloud of smoke. Like Snoop Dogg was in there. I made a U-turn. I didn't even let the door close. I said, y'all niggas is tripping. Y'all tripping.
I'm out of here.
And I didn't even let the door close. I spin around, did the 180, and got back on the elevator, and all the way to my room, I was like, these dudes is tripping. Yo, they tripping, yo. Like, you know, and in my opinion, it wasn't worth it, but nobody got caught, and it was fine. But, you know, I'm not taking those kind of chances, but, you know, that was a rough one for me. I just didn't understand it, you know, but thank God everybody was cool. So that's my story.
Rolling on the west side, rolling on the west side. I be rolling on the west side, rolling on the west side, rolling on the west side. I be rolling on the.
Today we are reviewing Malin's Deli. Y'all ready to eat?
That's
right. All right, let's go.
Packaging is
That's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's a good scene.
All that.
Woo!
right.
I got the honey turkey with lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, pepper, and oil.
Oreo? Oreo?
Oil.
Oil.
Oreo.
Like, you got Oreos?
Oil.
I got a turkey hoagie with fresh turkey meat that they make at the deli. Mayonnaise, pickles, onions, and those are the trimmings that I got on mine.
Trimmings. Okay. Chicken salad. Wheat bread, American cheese, and extra mayo. Nice and sloppy. When it's sloppy, that's how you know it's going to be good. That's how you know.
He ain't even getting his mouth good. He said,
That first bite is it.
That's right.
It's cut perfectly.
It's got a nice Philadelphia sandwich on it. But
Oh, what'd you say? What'd you say?
It's got a nice Philadelphia sandwich
Now,
on it.
first of all, we gotta say that Philly is king of hoagies
Yeah, we the
and
king of hoagies.
Hey, that's
cheesesteak.
some strong words right there.
So let's
We
get
are.
that out the way. You
Definitely
from
are.
Philly? You supposed to be with us.
Shit, I've been way too long.
Spanx, I've already been here, so I know what it tastes like.
Let's see, man.
This thing smart.
All right.
Give them a little time to think about
Let 'em
it,
marinate,
to
okay?
assess.
Oh, that's good. The chicken salad is good. It's not too much like celery and onions and crunchy stuff in it. I don't like all that.
I hate it when it's like that.
The cheese. What's the name of this place?
It's called Malin's Deli in Smyrna.
Aliens.
And the mayonnaise got like a nice little different taste.
That's that.
Mayonnaise. Okay.
It don't taste like helmets.
All right, let me take a bite of mine. See, it's about the way you bite a hoagie. That's how you know it's going to taste good. You got to bite it the right way.
True.
And you got to get it from the bottom where the mayo sauce is so good.
Yeah. The bread fresh, it's nice and soft.
Definitely not style. They get a 10 out for me.
Okay.
That's mine.
Dang, I feel left out. I don't have no sandwich.
I got water.
Yeah, they have vegan and all gluten free.
That's
Whatever you
just like a
need.
girl to say, I don't want nothing. And then when you're girlfriend,
Right.
I
I want some.
Huh.
You want some of this?
No, I'm actually cool because I really would have wanted a chicken cheesesteak.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
they
Yeah.
smacking. They really good. I've been here before and they stuff is really, really good.
I can't
So
lie.
I believe y'all.
And the wrapping too.
So I'm
Like,
tearing it up.
they triple wrap. So
Yeah, I love it. So mine was, I'm going to give that, I got to give that a strong 8. The bread was pretty cool, but the turkey is amazing. And you know, all of the toppings, and it's dressed right. It's packed right. It's a perfect amount of meat so that you can enjoy it. This is probably like 2 meals for me, since I'm trying to bring it down a little bit. And you know, so I'll give this a strong 8.
Nice.
You said a 10.
They get 10 for me.
Wipe your beard, brother.
That's how you do it.
And then what you giving it?
I'm gonna give it an 8, a solid 8 too. You know, cause like when it comes to chicken salad, I go to Wawa all the time. But this was much better than Wawa. Bit more fresh. And like I said, it didn't have too many onions and celery and all the crunchy stuff. And I like that. You know, I do like grapes in my chicken salad though.
Oh, okay.
Grapes, slamming. But
Okay.
it's a new spot. Thank you, Smyrna.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I'm lost, driving in the middle of nowhere, and I wanna.
So 8, 10. Good job, Maylin. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about relationships. A little topic called Lover's Lane.
Okay.
Okay, so we kind of want to get into, I guess, domestic roles, you would call it. Yeah. Domestic roles and, you know, things like who does the dishes, who's supposed to provide, stuff like that, you know. Yeah. What you say? You came right off the rip with it, okay? All right, so
Good
what's
topic.
y'all's perspective about, I guess, gender roles in whatever relationship, whether it's just, you know, your girlfriend, boyfriend, marriage, whatever. Who's necessarily supposed to or expected to do domestic things? Watching after the kids, laundry, dishes, you know, the simple things that's around the house.
Dishes are not simple. It's like, no, go ahead.
Trash, I usually, that's, you know, men, we handle the trash, preferably if you do have a son. That's why you have a son. If you don't have a son, make one so that he can take out the trash. Daryl's son is here. Shout out to Mayor. You know what I'm saying? You take out the trash, don't you? Exactly. So
Case closed.
that's not your purpose though. So, it's right now. But like stuff like the dishes, cooking, stuff like that. Like I've always had this idea of wanting to have a maid, but I want to cook so that we don't have to worry about cooking. She don't have to cook. I don't gotta cook, or a nanny. I guess if the kids are too overwhelming, stuff like that, you know. Yeah, it's like, you know, if you want to stay home and do A, B, and C, you can. But if you don't want to, yo, let's hire somebody else to do it. I'm not doing the dishes though. You know, we got dishwashers. You know what I mean? I throw them in the dishwasher. We can do that. We can do it together. But yeah, I'm cool with the whole stay-at-home mom stuff. It depends on her, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, these days and times, like with the economy being what it is, like everybody got to be making money. So if she is just as busy as you are, you know, those chores have to be shared. But I came up in a traditional family, you know, so my mom kept the house. You know, she did the cooking. You know, she did the cleaning. She did, you know, she did the laundry. So that's just what I'm used to. And she, you know, as a boy, you know, boys always spoil their, moms always spoil their boys. You know what I mean? So we just came up like that. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what I expect. But, you know, at the very end of the day, it's about whatever agreement that you guys make. I think that's important because, you know, communication is very important and expectations. You know, you need to let me know what you want, and I need to let you know what I want. And if it makes sense, then we can make it work. You know what I'm saying? You know, I believe that, like, the trash and all of the heavy duty kind of stuff and fixing the toilet and, you know, all of that kind of stuff needs to be done by the man. You understand what I'm saying? And the security of the house and all of that kind of stuff. And if something needs to be changed, like the light bulb or, you know, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? That needs to be done by the man, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the man's job to protect and to provide. I know that sounds like cliche, but that's just what I believe in, you know, because let's just say me and my wife are asleep and we hear somebody bust in the house. I'm not going to say, wife, get up and go see who that is. That's my job. You know what I'm saying? You know, and, you know, vice versa, like when the kids they may get a little minor cut, you know, she knows what to put on it and how to care for. She's the nurturer or whatever. So that's just what I believe in. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's not to say I can't do it too, but she's a lot better because that's just naturally in her to do that. You know, we more like, you're a boy. When my boys fall, it's like, yo, your boy, get up. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, nah, come here. You know what I'm saying? It's a little boo-boo. We ain't going on. You know what I mean? So I think it's better. I think it's better for the children and all that. Now, as far as the watching the kids and things like that, I think that's like a shared thing. You can't just be like, I'm the man and I take care of this off. I pay all the bills, so you go to always watch the kids and I ain't never watching them. Right. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe as mother and father is just as important as one another. So, you know, they need to spend time with their mother and their father. You know, you need to take your kids out, the mother and the father. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I think that's a shared thing, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. What you think, Aaron?
He said a lot of what I would have said, but I definitely feel like it's like growing up in a two-parent home, you know, it helps you, you know, learn responsibilities and, you know, what you should do, how you should treat your mother or whoever you're dating or sisters and all that. So I think the roles. Sometimes I think it's equal because I feel like, yeah, I can do the trash. I can take out the trash. I can do dishes sometimes too. I can even cook because I like cooking. So for me, it don't really matter. As long as we get it done together, I feel like it should be like a team effort. Like that's what I feel. That's why I actually feel like family and marriage should be like a team thing. Like we all picking up each other's slack and or whatever we can. You know, for example, like coming off tour from like a long tour, you tired. We be, you know. You don't realize how tired you are till you come off for like a 2-3 month tour and you get home and you're not doing nothing. You like, so you know you got your wife or whoever you're dating, you know, there to cater you a little bit and you know take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
Help you recover.
Also, you do the same. I mean, of course, you're doing the same thing back, but you know, I just feel like that is what the role of wife, girlfriend, or whatever y'all, you know, pushing to be. You know.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, for me, like, I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years. I was married, and I did everything: cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, watching after the kids, everything, homeschooling the kids, all of that. So that was the agreement that we made. There's some other stuff that goes with that, but I think what you said makes a lot of sense. Whatever you all have agreed on, whatever is okay for you, your household, or however you want to run things in your relationship, that's what's going to make the difference. So whatever those expectations are is what it's going to be. Now, being clear on that, like from the rip, is really important. Don't blindside somebody, you know what I'm saying, and make them think, oh, well, this is the way it's going to be. I'm going to take care of you, but you're not really taking care of them, and you're just controlling, because it can turn into a controlling type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on whatever you guys agree upon. As far as roles are concerned, I think it's a thin line because, yeah, I personally feel like there's certain things a woman should do for her man. I think that you should cater to your man. Absolutely. I think that you should cook for your man. I think that you should take care of him. I don't feel like he should act like he is incapable of doing anything for himself. However, if he's doing his part, you're doing your part. Like you said, you're working together. You know what I'm saying? So people have different perspectives about that as to what those limitations are. You know what I mean? And then it gets lopsided. They call it that 80-20 thing or whatever you call it. But it just depends on the couple or whatever. So, like, I want to ask y'all's perspective about submission. What do you think about that? Whether it's in marriage or just a general relationship? Spank.
Yeah. It's I definitely know that like a woman she'll like follow suit depending on what you set up. You know, if you come a certain way, if you intentional and stuff like that, a woman would definitely be more submissive, I think. And then like you have certain guys that are like more, I guess, more passive, or it depends on like what you set as the man, because you can't ask for it and you're not doing certain things. It's gonna be kind of weird. So like, I need more context with that too, like with the submission. Like,
So what is submission to you? What does that mean?
Just when you're totally like when you're like, okay, you're allowing that person to navigate the relationship, and you don't mind stepping into, I guess, like the passenger seat and really allowing them to navigate the relationship. And I don't know. But just like not being as, not headstrong, but as aggressive, and maybe like trying to call the shots. Like you're just more, okay, well, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Okay, I feel kind of different, but I'll go ahead and go your way, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just more understanding and easygoing, and right. Mm-hmm. Submission.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Daryl.
Other than that, I'm thinking bondage and all that out.
Dominatrix.
Well, so the first thing we got to deal with is that a lot of people look at submission as manipulation. I don't think that that's true. I think submission is trusting your partner to lead the relationship and to make certain decisions, right? So I just think about it. I have a daughter. So what kind of guy would I like her to have? I would like him to be a leader, to know what he's doing and how he's going to make money, how he's going to support his family. That's a leader. How he's going to protect his family and how he's going to provide. So that's number one. So she can follow suit because he's a strong man like her father. And he knows he's going to not ever put his family in any position that's harmful. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it's a lot of dudes out here that don't know where they're going. So how could you even be submissive to that?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I believe if you're dealing with a real man that knows what he's doing and has his head on straight and not getting caught up in the hype and what's going on in the world and being a follower and all that kind of stuff. And he's, I'm a Christian, so we follow the biblical perspective. That's following the biblical perspective and imparting wisdom into the family and in the kids and all that kind of stuff. Then you should be submissive to that man, because when you're submissive to that man, that makes him feel like a man, and he's going to provide more and he's going to be more successful, which is support. What I see in today's society is a lot of lack of support for your partner. It's like people are in competition, and everything is about a photo op. Oh, look how we look on Instagram, and they look happy, but they get off Instagram and they argue.
It's a hot mess.
That don't make sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that happiness, if you're not happy with us at home with no TV on, no media, no social media, then we don't need to be together.
Right.
If we just like, oh, look how many likes we got. Oh, people, if that's the attention that we need to stay together, that doesn't make sense to me. So I do believe some people take it too far, with the submission joint. You know what I'm saying? I told you I ain't want no mayonnaise. Smack. That's crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Because I believe that if you love your wife, you should never want to hurt her. You understand what I'm saying? But she should understand her part, and you should understand her, and I should understand my part. True. When we get in a situation and it causes for a violent situation, she should know he got me. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm submissive to him, because I know he can protect me. You see what I'm saying? But if the dude is just as, afraid as you are, you got to deal with the situation, you don't need to be in that situation.
Right.
So that's how I feel. And then one other thing, I believe that when you're in a relationship, I should be my wife's slave and my wife should be my slave. What does that mean? Whatever she wants, I should do, and whatever I want, she should do. It's equal. It's fine. At that point, everybody gets their way and everything's fine. But I can't say, oh, just because I'm the man and you do this and I ain't going to do it back, or I'm not going to give you what you want. You want flowers every Friday. I got to make that happen because that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? But if I want a steak every Friday, you better make it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just how I look at it. Then it's not like a competition thing, And the last thing I want to say is that I believe that you should bring no one else into your relationship. I don't care what she did. I don't care what you did. Y'all should not take that to your parents. You shouldn't take that to your cousins, because guess what? They're always going to be on your side. If I tell my mom that something happened to me because of my wife, she's always going to be on my side because I'm her son. But then I'm going to forgive my wife and she won't.
Right.
So that's a lot of what's happening today, and that's why relationships are not working. And people are doing it for the wrong thing, maybe because of money, maybe because of looks, but all of that fades. You know what I'm saying? You could hit a bad lick. I've been on, I haven't toured in a while. You know what I'm saying? So if it was based on that, I wouldn't still be with my wife. It's based on true love. So, and if you get a situation and she's beautiful inside, man, keep her, man. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I want to say about what you just said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying keep your relationship within your relationship, just you and her. But I also want to give a different perspective, because there are people who are doing that and they're dealing with domestic situations that they don't know how to get out of. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're dealing with someone who's controlling or someone who is being violent, and you feel like I can't tell nobody because it's just between me and you suffering.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think that you should have some type of mentor that you can trust, not somebody like if you marry, you shouldn't have a single girlfriend that you are confiding in because she can't relate, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa on the male part. So you have to have someone, preferably an older person, who's experienced or whatever that you can vent to, that you can talk to, that you can trust, and maybe even that both you and your partner know. You know what I mean? Not necessarily for them to be a mediator between you two, because they still should not get in your personal business, but it's so many women and men, because we're not going to leave out men, who deal with domestic situations that they don't know how to get out of. And they're stuck for years and they're suffering, and people just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there because I think that's really important.
Yeah, so I would just be specific with what I was saying. I was talking about he came home late last night, or she didn't cook the right, like little minor stuff. You know, of course, with abuse, because there's a lot of women being abused, there's a lot of men being abused. You should seek help. But I'm just saying, like, every little thing, try to keep that to yourself unless you know it's a major thing.
Right.
And like I said, like you said, somebody that's older, that could be like maybe a mediator or just give you suggestions or advice on what you should do, because you may not know what to do because you're stuck between I love this person and you see the best in them, but at the same time this is more harm than good.
Right.
You know? So I agree with that.
Aaron, what you think about submission?
I mean, I think each person can be submissive when everybody's doing their part, everybody's happy, and you know, you sticking to whatever you guys agreed upon or whatever, you know, you do to make each other happy. You know, I think a person is not submissive when you know, when maybe certain things aren't held up on the other person's end. Like, you say you want to do this, but you never do it. So I was like, well, why should I submit to that or whatever if you're not doing what you're supposed to do? So that's my light take is that down. I should take everything. I'm sorry to say. That's okay. No, listen.
I had a lot to speak about.
That's fine. And that's fine. So
Yeah.
that's my little 2 cents though. I think I definitely agree with what he said though. But I feel like you know, you should be submissive when everybody's playing their part. You know?
So what happens when they're not playing their part?
Say something. And then
Good to see you.
If it doesn't change, then
Shout out to
maybe-
Redfield Island. Good to see you.
That's it. I mean, you know, if they're not, and you say something, and then there's no change, then what are we doing?
Right, what are we
I
doing?
like what I like. You like what you like, but you're not giving me what I want. I'm telling you this. It's not working for me. You don't change, so good to see you. Or you know, we work it out. But either way, yeah, that's how I feel.
I mean, I think submission, first of all, the whole idea of submission, to be honest, does come from what you said, biblical foundation. And if you want to go that route, it's a whole different meaning, and it's much more deep than people have allowed it to be now. Like, all of the restrictions that come along with that, a lot of people are not holding true to that anymore. So it's a lot of things have turned in a different direction, whether it's because of feminists, you know, people want equality, whatever the case may be. So at the end of the day, each person, the male and the female, I feel like you're a person, so you deserve respect. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you want to hear each other out. You want to listen to each other. If you love each other, you're interested in what the other person thinks, feels, what their perspective is, or whatever. Now, for me personally, as a female, I definitely want to be heard, but I feel like the final decision will lie with my husband. Now, specifically saying husband, now you got to earn that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're my man, my boyfriend, you haven't necessarily earned that. We're on that track, cool. But there's definitely a difference there, and it's a lot of people. That's a whole different topic that we could talk about. You know what I'm saying? But definitely hearing each other out, making sure that you know you considering each other. You know what I'm saying? And submission can go both ways, but there's limits to it, and I think the limits to it is the jaded area. That's the gray area that people don't realize and recognize. And that's where everything gets messed up. You know what I mean? And it's like you were saying, okay, so if everybody does their part, in a perfect world, everybody's doing their part, but nobody's perfect. So then you have, different situations going on, and then you got a messed up relationship possibly. So it all depends.
I got a question for the single guys at the table. Does well, you single till you married, so does body count matter? For the woman you
Hold up, why is it only for the guys though?
For the woman as well. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
thank you.
Does body count matter to who you would partner up and marry?
No, because if I didn't know, I don't know that life, and I only knew you just for who you are now, it's okay.
250.
Woo!
Listen.
He said, he said,
Throwing a hot dog down all the way.
You know, we all got our dirt.
Baby, you feel that?
You know,
250. What you doing?
if God says that's the one, I'm gonna go with it. You know, it is what it is.
250.
People deserve second chances. He's a God of a second
A lot of
chance.
chances.
That's a lot.
All right, so who wants to go next? Shay?
Body count? 250 is a lot. But I would,
It's like,
but to be honest, I'm not asking all of that. I'm not asking all of that. I do have a question for y'all, but in regards to your question, I feel like whatever your past is, whether it's who you've been with, have you been locked up, have you like all of that stuff, it made you who you are. Have you learned your lesson from whatever your past is, and where are you going forward from now? Are you still in that space? If you are, then no thank you. But if you
But of
move
course they're
forward,
going to say no.
no, if you've shown me that you are no longer in that space, because I can tell,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, then you move forward.
What do you say?
Man, I say it doesn't matter, but it will matter if your count is high and like her count is like mad low. I don't know. Nah, it don't matter. But if you just happen to talk about it one day, because some people like to gloat, like, please, I only had 3 partners. You know what I'm saying? I only,
No, you hear her like talking about. She don't mean it for you to hear it, but you hear her like on the phone with a friend and saying, "Yeah, I took down 250." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
ooh.
That ain't gonna make you be like, oh.
Nah, because then the next thing I would think about is just myself. And I'd be like,
Yeah, let me not point the finger.
Women and men are different. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm gonna just say because I can guarantee you most of the women, that you lie down with, you don't remember their name.
Oh, boy.
So we ain't gonna get into that. But what I'm saying is, you know what I mean? It's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Women, you entering there, it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask y'all a question. Does it matter? Okay, so with y'all being in the industry that y'all are in and have been in, does it matter who it is? Like if it's somebody that you know?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a given, right?
Because there's so many fish in the sea. So many options.
So I'm gonna take a fish that's been fished out.
But are you
multiple
asking? Or do y'all ask? Do y'all literally ask? Like, if you meet somebody, that I don't know, you just ask them like, who? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you know somebody that I know? Because I've seen it happen before.
Mm-hmm.
Like they running down like, tell me who you know.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me who you've been with or whatever. It's just to make sure that the paths ain't crossed. You know what I'm saying?
You had a conversation with your homie, might call Drake. Yo, what up, bro? Yeah, man, I'm chilling, man. Yeah, me and Stacy, we'll go to the movies Friday. You know Stacy, right? Yeah, whatever the homie says right there is vital information.
Vital information.
He might be like, yeah, I know Stacy, man. She was messing with Craig, right? Yeah, bullshit. Like, for real? Thank you. Like,
That'll shut you right on
Used to
down.
bust it down. Oh, dude.
yeah, but
I mean, that makes sense.
if that be the case, you just gotta find out information. If they volunteer to tell you, that's respectful. That's dope. You don't want to find nothing out. Like, you don't want to be out, you know, and
Somebody coming up all
they come
huggy.
walking by each other, be
Right.
weird. You standing there, or it's the super weird. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Right.
And they walk to the side. Talking.
Yes. So how you feel like you with your lady and like y'all at an event or party or something? Does it ever cross your mind like, dang, she could have been with this person, like somebody literally that you walk past could have been with your woman, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if it's important enough to
It's
tell
past
me,
tense to be.
you know, if it's important, cool. If it's not, you know, it happens. It happens. It's just coincidence, you know. They're here.
It's a rough Bobby.
It happens.
I know somebody was gonna say Bobby.
If she extra when he saying something, then I'm like, hold on. What's happening here?
Fortunately, I don't have to deal with none of that.
Thank God.
It's a rough vibe.
That's definitely
Because I've seen people be in a situation,
Yeah.
I don't care, it's all good, it's the past. And they be like,
Yeah.
yo, I can't do it, bro. Every time we go somewhere, I see the balls, man. And then you be like, you know what I mean? They got to step out the situation.
Yeah.
Or it hurts people because they don't say nothing. And then you see a friend that you ain't seen. What's up, homie? Oh, yo, you know, I used to smash your phone back in the day.
Wow.
Shut you right on down. You know what I
Definitely
mean?
shut you
So
right down.
I think it's important because, you know, it's like, you know, I think, you know, when you allow yourself to be intimate with that amount of people, that's an issue. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Especially for a woman, you know what I mean? That's an issue because, like, that many, like, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, and you single, like, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my personal opinion. Some people don't care about that, but that's just my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying?
Because women are emotional. We're emotional, I guess, creatures. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Like, how can you just be with whoever? I'll speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for nobody else. You know, so I guess some people do have that disconnect, and you can just lay with whoever. To me, I feel like that's something else that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Something else, whether it's emotional or whatever that you're dealing with within you. You can't. I just cannot. Just hop. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a connection, and you can definitely form a soul tie with people.
You
So
do.
can't
I mean, that's just
like-
what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely happens.
And it's like
You
the
singing
thing
I
that
Can't Let It
really.
Go?
I'm sorry.
No, I said you be singing I Can't Let It Go.
Like the thing that trips me out is like women that'll start talking to a dude that has 3 kids that he don't take care of, and then get pregnant by him, and then be wondering why he don't take care of your kid.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm like you know,
It shows you.
that didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But you know, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm not trying to put anybody down. But you know, it's just like, to me, that's, you didn't make a good decision, because I really believe when you choose a partner, you have to be smart about it, and they have to help you out, and you got to help them out. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be that type of bond, whereas though life can be peaceful and y'all can be successful together. If you don't do that, then I've seen people like fighting all the time. They talk to everybody crazy. They talk to each other crazy.
Yeah,
He calling them bees, and she calling them dirty niggas, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. And that's not. And then you're doing it in front of the kids, and then now the kids learn that behavior. It's just not good. You know what I mean? And the only thing that kind of brought them together was maybe partying, and they used to smoke together or drink together. So that's the only time that they're happy. So the kids see that. So it's just a reflection of that. You're raising kids that's going to be a reflection of you, and I just don't think that that's good. If that person doesn't help you out and say, yo, let's be more healthy, let's eat more healthy, let's exercise, let's, you know, eat better foods, let's travel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's read a book today. You know what I mean? Let's educate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't on that, then what you really doing?
The person you're with should be an asset to your life.
Yeah.
First of all, they should not complete your life. They should not be the one to. I always say, whoever you're with should not be the one that makes you happy. because you have to be happy with yourself first.
I say, that's
People pass away, you know, people decide they don't want to be with you no more, so what, you just not going to be happy no more? No, you have to be happy within yourself, and that person needs to match and exceed, you know, where you are in life. And if they're not doing that, if it's toxic or whatever, or they're not fulfilling you in a certain way, they're really not the person for you. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So.
Here. You tape some.
I definitely agree.
So, I mean,
Is there anything else you want to talk about on that tip?
we can go all day on that. It's up to you.
Yeah, cause drop another question.
Well, I mean, okay, so what's your perspective on blended families? Like, you got the baby father or the baby mom, and then you got that relationship, because some people are close to like, I'm close to my daughter's father with friends. Like, we're literally friends. Some people might not be cool with that, you know what I'm saying? And then there's people who have real issues with the baby mom or the baby dad, you know what I'm saying? So, like, what do you think? What do you guys think is the most productive way to handle things in that type of situation?
You want me to go?
You go.
Okay. So I believe when you have children, everything's about them. So no matter what we had going on, if we beefing, that has to cease because we're raising children. And what happens with children that are in broken families, they go to the dad for one thing and he does it, but they'll go to their mom for the same thing. The dad may have said no, then the mom is going to say yes despite the dad. And at the same time, the child is being hurt.
Right.
So the communication has to be clear and concise. This is how we're bringing up our child. This is what he can do, what she can do, and this is what they can't do. You understand what I'm saying? We need to be clear on that. We need to talk about that. It can't be a case-by-case basis, especially in today's climate with the social media and all of this kind of stuff, because you have a lot of things that's happening, that fads that's happening, that's just not helpful for the kids. You understand what I'm saying? So education, discipline, all that kind of stuff has to be talked about. Now, if I'm the baby father and, just say I'm the husband and there's a baby father, we have to become cool and understand. I need to understand how he works. He needs to understand how I work and what he has to do with my child because it is my child. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the child's life. It's my child. So you just there. And I know you're around and all that kind of stuff, but I'm final say. And vice versa, if I got a baby mom, the baby mom has the final say because that's, you understand? That's their child. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I believe just the communication has to be clear and concise. That we should all be able to go to dinner and eat and be cool and be fine. Everything's fine.
That sounds wonderful. That's not a typical
for the child's welfare, it has to happen because when a child gets lost in there with all of those different parents and all that kind of stuff, it's not a good thing. I seen a dude coming to his son's graduation and the baby mom wouldn't let him in because they not cool. That's not cool.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? The husband should have been like, no, he coming in, this is his child.
Right.
But he taking the child like, no, I'm taking care of him. Like, that's not cool. Because somebody hurt you about their kid, man. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a different thing. So I just believe, and it's definitely difficult, I understand that. But I think for the child's sake, the best thing is great communication throughout. We ain't got to be best friends, but we got to all understand what's going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Spank, you was about to say something?
Nah, I agree with him. He hit it on the nail.
So you're saying like great communication. So what if one person is trying to communicate, trying to extend themselves, trying to consistently like incorporate and all of that. And other party is like they're bitter because of the relationship didn't work out, and they're just being a complete, I'll just say, jerk. Like, so what do? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's on at that point. It's on them, but everybody has to be willing to do that and understand the importance of it.
So with that question, like, we don't live in a perfect world. A lot of situations don't work out the way it should.
Right.
Everybody communicating, effectively and being mature adults. You know what I'm saying? But who suffers the most? The child.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if any of y'all experience that type of situation, how would you handle your children or your child in that situation? Like, would you tell them, well, daddy or whoever it is, mommy is not cooperating, or you can't see them because of this, or they're not, whatever the case, whatever the situation is, how would you talk to your kids about it?
I don't think you should maybe not be as like not that transparent. It depends on how old they are, like if they're of age,
What age group we talking about? Teenager or?
Let's say preteen.
Preteen, yeah, you can give a little bit of information, but you don't have to go too deep into it. I don't think so, because you don't want them to worry about that. If, like, their relationship could be sustained and everything could be there, you can still be present and all that, and I think that'd be cool. That's real touchy. That's a sensitive one.
It is.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, well, I can say, like, I was the child in that situation. And one thing that my dad always did is he even when they wasn't together, he showed us how much he loved my mom and how he'd do anything for her. Wow. That was powerful to me because I'm like, y'all broke up, but he was just like, so you disrespecting your mom, yo? I'm on my way. You won't ever disrespect, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, he's still riding, and, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just like, I think that's, as a man, that's the most important thing you could do for your child is show them how much you love their mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because your mom that's your mom, yo. You only get one mom, bro. Don't play with your mom. I don't care if we cool or not. That's your mom. Right. And I'm always gonna ride with her. She had you, dog. Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that is very important. That was a great example to me. You know what I mean? That was a great example to me.
Okay.
I don't have an answer because I guess I've never been through that. I've never been through that. My parents, I wouldn't say that they had the greatest, I've been through the arguments or whatever, they went through, but they did their best to, it didn't affect us, if that means anything. That it didn't affect us, whatever they went through. And then, of course, I found out a lot later about some of this stuff, but I don't really have that story. I can imagine it being rough, you know what I mean? Because I'm definitely going to be with my kids' life. If I'm not with the baby mother or not, I'm definitely going to be there for sure because you want, I would feel like you want the person that, your father to be in your life, Even though you have stepfathers, that's great. And it's great, and it's always good if you have, like, a stepfather that's great, because, there are kids that's been raised by great stepfathers, too. But I think it's always a plus to have your father, your natural father, who, whatever, to be in your life, because that, that just helps point you in the direction that maybe, you need to go, or, feel the love that you need to feel, or whatever.
Absolutely.
And whoever your father's with, if they're married, whether that wife or whoever should have the same respect, for that child. So.
And the wife or husband needs to be in the same alignment with whatever the agreement between the baby mom and the dad. Or
at this point, we're a village now, raising these kids.
Right. And we just want to see them be better than us.
And
right. Be successful at whatever they want to do.
sure.
You know what I mean? You might have more knowledge on this than me, then, you know, you take the lead on that. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You know, and I think, but it's all about communication. You know, sometimes when people break up, it's always a bitter situation. We wait till it's like, I can't stand you no more to break up, rather than being like, yo, this ain't gonna really work. While we still a little cool, let's just break off and let's just do this a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Okay.
facts of life, things that are important to remember to be successful. We're all in the music business. We all go on the road. And I want to talk about good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. I'll say it again. Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. So, Spank, talk to us about communication and how important it is, and what we do.
It's everything. I mean, communication. It might be certain troubles that come up or certain situations that don't work out. You know, you want to communicate, let people know, just so we can get our mentor together to deal with stuff. You know, we might come in the gig, focus on the music, this and that. You know, we want to deal with certain other things. So you communicate that. That's why we have production managers, tour managers, you know, communicate with them, stage managers, musical directors. Communication between all of them is what keeps things smooth for the band. You know, you can just come in, do your job, because they're handling all logistics.
Yep. So I'll go next. So a thing that I hate is when I call somebody to do something, maybe for a gig or for a session, they say they can do it, but then I've ran into this where they don't come and then they don't call me and tell me that they couldn't make it, and then they don't even call me to say that they sorry they didn't make it. And now I'm looking crazy because I trusted this person to do the job that they said they was going to do, and they faked me out. And what I figured out, what I realized, because this happened to me very recently, and I saw the bull like 6 months later, I said, yo, you did me in, bro. What's going on? Oh, man, yeah, it had something with the family and all that. And,
They always say
you
that.
know, and
Family,
so, and, you
man.
know, and I couldn't make
family,
it and all
dog,
that.
you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Grandma, man.
I said, bro, you can't do that because if you can't do it, that's okay. That's fine. I'm not going to be upset at you.
Right.
Something else came up, but you didn't let me close that door so I can open another one. So now I'm thinking you're going to be there, and now I'm looking crazy when it comes to that. So you can't do that no more. And I think a lot of people, because they said they were going to do it, they are afraid to tell you that they can't do it, and that's why they don't tell you. But that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, like, I would just, give the advice to the people that's coming up, man, and, you know, people that may not be professional, to just communicate. If there's anything that you're unclear about, there's never a dumb question, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You could be like, you know, I've seen on the road where we went to a venue. We were overseas, and this was the Pro Tools guy's first time overseas, and he didn't know it was different wall adapters and different, the way, when you plug into the wall. Conversion. And now he don't have the power cord, so now we can't do the show because you didn't ask that question. Communication is key.
Yep.
It's key. There's never a dumb question, and you can never communicate too much. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, when you're performing, you have about 30 people that's a part of that whole camp. If everybody's not on the same page, something is going to get left behind and something is going to fall behind, and we can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's, communications is very key, man. So keep that in mind, man. Speak your mind.
I'm gonna say that communication is key in everything. far as like timing, you know, those your lobby calls, trip, your plane rides, all that. You know, it all makes sense. And if something's happening, you don't communicate that. Nobody's gonna know. That's gonna mess up this. You know, that's gonna mess up whatever your part is in the show because everybody plays a part. And when one thing is all because of miscommunication, it throws everybody else's schedule off. So I would say that and communication is key too, and knowing like because it used to be hard for me to ask, but like okay, so how much am I making, or what does it require me to do? What you require me to do? What do you need me to do? All that kind of stuff is all part of communication. So you know what your job is and what you need to do, and you can be on point with your job.
So you can get paid.
Because if you don't, you ain't gonna get paid. I know some people you don't say nothing, you ain't gonna get paid. They not gonna pay you because he cool.
This was on the house, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So always ask about your pay.
Always.
Ask when are you getting paid, and then ask, or tell them,
I would like to be paid this.
I would like to be paid this, or what do I need so that I can give a W-9? Are we paying by check? How does this work? All of those questions are very important so that you can get paid. And another thing, what about this? When you're on tour, right? We stay at different hotels, and you got to put a card down when you check in every hotel. Right. But a lot of these hotels be 5-star hotels, so the hold on your card be $200.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine after 5 shows, that's like a stack. You know what I mean? So if you're using your main credit card, so you need to ask, like, can y'all put a MasterCard down so that y'all can cover the rooms, and then we'll just pay for the incidentals that I create. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Instead of putting a major hold on my joint every joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you don't communicate that, because they're just thinking that they're cool or whatever, but some people come out there with their last dollar. You know what I mean? Yeah. You never know. Yeah.
So, I have before.
So they can be clear. They can be like, oh, yeah, we got you. We'll just put a MasterCard down, whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Also, with arriving to the airport, getting to the hotel sometimes if they don't have transportation. Yeah, just go ahead and Uber. We'll reimburse you, you know. But if you communicate, you know, you don't have that to do that, whatever the case may be, let them know. That could be another thing. Just communication, everything. You know what I mean? Just talk to them. Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge communicator. Like, I need full details, start to finish, A to Z. And honestly, if you don't write it down for me, or I can't write it down myself, I might forget or whatever. So, like, I need, and that's down to my kids. Like, if you want to go somewhere, I need to know when, where, what time, who you going to be with, all of that kind of stuff. I do shows. I do, like, fashion shows and stuff. So what you were saying is really key because you do need to communicate with people. I coordinated with someone who literally reached out to me to ask me to do a show for them. And we met up. We did 2 meetings. I'm pulling on my team. Like, okay, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We pull out an estimate. Like, people are taking out their time, you know, to work with me to coordinate this for someone who asked me to do something for them. And then they just fell off and disappeared. And I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And so when I finally talked to that person, they actually were asking me for another favor. I'm like, girl, first of all, let's address the first situation. Like, you had me pulling my folks, you know what I'm saying? You making me look like a flake. Right. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, you know, I'm busy. I'm like, I'm busy too, including the people that, you know, were in on this situation. So I'm like, the least you could have done if you were too busy for the situation, if you changed your mind, whatever the case may be, communicate that. I would have been fine with that. You want to push the date back or, you know, postpone.
See, when you do good in the first situation, that sets you up for the rest of them.
Exactly.
The fact that he was asking about
right
other stuff, that's crazy.
Exactly. I'm like, clearly you don't respect my time. Right. You don't really respect what I do. You know what I'm saying? If that's the way you moving. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you that you got to communicate in totality and respect people's time.
Yes. And you gotta have the heart to ask what you're gonna ask, because you don't wanna put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, right? So I think about everything I do before I do it. Like, do I feel like doing this?
Right.
You know what I mean? And is it going to be a comparable situation or a situation I would love to be in? If I can't say yes, then I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? So that's just the fact of the matter. I'll do favors for friends and stuff like that, but when it's business, I got to communicate everything clearly so that you understand I need this much money up front. I need boom, boom, boom. So it's just that simple.
And that's important. Do you feel like
I'm not sharing a room? So, like, how many
Right.
times you been in that situation? Like, oh, y'all sharing a room? No, Playboy. I've been doing this for 20 years. I ain't doing that, Playboy.
20 years? We ain't sharing no rooms
I'm
right
not
here.
doing that, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? So,
I stay on a bus before.
You gotta communicate, man, and so it's like I think that's a real key to being successful. And then I'll step into this as well. Punctuality is a courteous compliment the intelligent person pays to his associates. So what do you feel about punctuality and being on time?
Definitely important, man. Like I've had my share of definitely being late plenty of time. That's been something I've been working on past couple of years, is really being not even on time, like 15 minutes ahead, 10 minutes ahead, downbeat. Like if rehearsal's at 11, try to be there before then so that downbeat can be 11 a.m. Even if it's not, that could be downbeat for you. Just be there on time. That's just it. Gotta be on time. That's I definitely learned that. Because I was late a lot, and I making a point. Try to be as on time as possible. Downbeat. Michael Bearton. I remember him. He came on Gaga. He was, so we started at 11. That's downbeat. So I expect you guys to be here at least by 10:30.
And downbeat means we playing music.
Yep.
That's the
At
first
11,
beat
so-
of the music.
Exactly.
Not 11:15, not 11:10.
Yep.
And it's respect to everybody else, because it's just like we all started on time. We're gonna leave on time, and beautiful. Thank you. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
punctuality?
Punctuality.
Yeah,
I can't even get it out
commas,
right.
exclamation
That's
points, and all
what
that.
I can't even get it. Punctuality, it always counts. You know what I mean? Being on time, because you can start on time and we can get out on time. As opposed to somebody coming late and then we may be having to finish a little later. You know what I mean? All that stuff goes hand in hand. And it shows good steward to your to the people you're working with too.
And especially
People are
when
watching.
Yeah, they're watching.
You're watching.
Yeah, and then also when you are running late, you're gonna forget something.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be traffic. Your tires, you're gonna need gas. Everything happens when you're late.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's
Everything.
instead of giving yourself enough time so you get there in enough time, you be like, oh man, I forgot this in the car. Let me get this. Now you're not rushing, and now you feel comfortable or whatever.
You're on time.
So I think that's so make sure you're on time, man.
Yeah,
Make sure
gotta be
you're on time.
man.
I think we're gonna wrap this one up, man. Y'all feel good about what we did?
Man. Feeling good.
Hungry Musicians Podcast, man. It's the first one, man. We excited, man.
No more.
Thanks for checking us out, man. Check us out next time.
Let's go.
Peace.